You know what day it is? You know what day it is, everyone out there? This is Wednesday. That means the half of the week is done, half the week is over, and here we are, halfway through the week, and my gosh. It feels like a full week has already been going on, hasn't it? I mean, seriously, anybody else feeling that way this week? I feel like this week, honestly, has been long, and it has been arduous, and we're only halfway through. But you know what? You know what that means? Haley, you know what that means?
What does that mean, Jeffrey Potts?
It means it's time to transform. What?
I love when you transform. It's the best.
It's time to transform. It's time to transform. And let's get actually before let me get rid of this. I'm spoiling the show already. Dang, I'm spoiling the show. Yes, it is time to transform because it has already been a long week, and dun 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 dun. Sometimes you go to the lab every day. Sometimes it gets a little hard out there. Sometimes you just feel like you need to let the hair down, so to speak. And sometimes you have to change. Everyone has to change. Sometimes you just have to, like Superman, take off the lab coat. Taking off the lab coat. No. No. What is that? It is a robe. Must put on robe. Must feel it. The fuzzy horror of evil. And now. Transformation complete. I have gone from mad scientist to the horror dude. Hello everyone, welcome to 52 Weeks of Horror, where we are making that scary, even changing from a mad scientist to the uber.
That was the best transformation ever.
Thank you. And Cannibal is here. What's up, Cannibal? How's it going?
Hold on, I think
dude.
The stream freaked out.
Uh-oh.
Bear with it. 1 second. The stream could not handle your amazingness.
The stream couldn't handle my transformation. I apologize.
Hold on.
I do apologize for that.
Let me check. There you go.
Oh.
You're stuttering a little bit. And you're back.
I'm back.
Make sure nothing extra tabs are open that you don't need.
Yeah, I'm going to pretty much close this one out.
There you go.
There we go. Hopefully that'll help.
Hey, Cannibal.
Hey,
yeah,
dude.
Like your thing is unstable.
Yeah, it is unstable. That's all right. There we go. We'll do that, and then we'll do that. Maybe that'll help. I don't know if that'll help or not.
You're live right now, so you're doing...
Meh, it's fine. You know what? It's good enough. Anyway, welcome to 52 Weeks of Horror. We are making that scary. This is the podcast day where we're going to chat. There was a network error.
You're still streaming.
Oh, good. That's good. Maybe just... Who knows what's going on today? I don't know what's going on today. One of these days we'll have internet that works, and it'll be a... We're all unstable. That is true. That is very true. And no one is more unstable than all of us here. All the scare makers joining us this evening are all unstable. But here we go. We're going to chat today. We're going to just hang out. We're going to chat. We're going to talk about some horror news, some horror things. And we're going to be a freaking horror channel today because that's what we love. That's what we like to do. I have to start off with something very deep. Haley, I want to start off with something very, very deep. And this is a serious question. I'm not joking here when I say this is a deep question.
Okay.
So, we watched the trailer for Pet Sematary, right? We watched it on, not this particular stream, but I watched it live right here on for everyone to see. And it got to the end and I was like, okay, well that was something. I don't think I would necessarily like it, but I have to watch it again. You're not going to try to get me too off track. Well, I appreciate that, but I feel like this is important. This is not something that needs to be asked. Honestly, this is a question that needs to be asked by, and I want everyone to answer. Really.
Okay.
So I realized that by the second week, I was like, you know what? That Pet Sematary trailer, I hated it. I didn't like it. I think it looks terrible. You can agree, you can disagree, but my question is, right? Because there's clearly a source material. There's Stephen King's Pet Sematary that it goes on. There was a film made before. There was even a sequel made after that with Edward Furlong. But watching the trailer, it looks like it has nothing to do. Like, aside from the fact that it's a pet cemetery.
And then they
have
John Lithgow playing the actual like they've got the character names in there.
Yeah, they got the character names in there, and I think they're going to explore the idea of the Wendigo in this particular film, as opposed to the original film, which didn't really touch on that so much. This one looks like it's going to touch on the Wendigo aspect. However, my question is, is it important to stick to source material, or is it more important to make a good movie? Because, and I pose this question to everyone because look at, say, Stanley Kubrick. The Shining.
Right.
The Shining is probably one of the greatest examples of filmmaking ever made.
Stephen King hates it.
Stephen King hates it. Is it anywhere near the book? Aside from the fact that they're in a hotel.
No,
and the character of Jack goes crazy, you know, Jack Torrance goes crazy. That's about it.
Right.
I mean, they're stuck there. I mean, basic broad plot points are hit, but that's about it. You know, and when the movie first came out, people didn't like it, but it has grown because it actually is a good movie. It's well made. It takes the source material and strips out everything that's unnecessary, I would argue, to make a very pointed horror film. Now the question is, when we watch the Pet Sematary trailer, it looks like they're veering far enough off from the source material that it looks like a completely different movie. However, now I wonder, and I was like, oh no, God, no, why are they doing this? Why? But now I wonder, is it better to make a good movie or stick to the source material? And I was debating this with myself on the way home. Haley, let me get your...
Well, I have so much input on this whole situation.
Tom is here, by the way. I'm sorry.
Tom.
Sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. But Tom is here, by the way, and he says the '90s TV version with Steven Weber, it was really close. And you're right. That was actually a really good version. Although, was it as good as the Jack Nicholson, Stanley Kubrick version? Shelley Duvall.
Well, no, because no one was actually being drove crazy during the TV version.
True.
So, yeah, hi, Tom. That's now your name.
And Cannibal says, well, you don't want a beat for beat being of the same remake. And
right.
That's accurate. You don't want that.
Well,
but, go ahead.
Okay, so I honestly, like, as much as I want... see, this is a hard thing when it comes to Stephen King in general. Because, do I want a good movie? Yes.
Yes.
Do I want the author to be happy? He doesn't have to be, because let's just face it. Nothing makes Stephen King happy. And lately, I actually want to jump off of your whole thing real quick.
Okay.
Stephen King tweeted out that the Pet Sematary is truly terrifying. It's scary. I don't know the exact tweet, but that is along the lines of what he said.
Okay.
Which, at this point, I don't trust Stephen King on his own material, simply because we had The Dark Tower, and
that is
he
accurate.
thought that that was gonna be good.
That's good. But here's the thing, though. He did like Toby Hooper's stuff. In fact, Toby Hooper did helped with Creepshow,
Right.
which Stephen King liked that, and honestly, that was a good movie. As well as he liked Toby Hooper's version of Salem's Lot.
Right.
So,
But how long ago were those things? I feel like Stephen King has hit the point of where he's like, not just Stephen King, like Tarantino and all of these guys. I think they're done, honestly, on judging what's good. But that's a whole nother rant.
You've hit your good line. Everything
no
after,
longer
if
know
you
what's-
think it's good after this, you're wrong. So wrong.
I'm gonna get out my sign and say, "Prove me wrong."
Prove me wrong.
But I want a good movie. I really do. I think.
Well, I mean,
like the source material sometimes isn't always the best of what it is. Like, I mean, I think the Carrie movie is really good. However, I don't think the book is as good as the movie because, well, they don't even go based off the book really for the movie.
True. But my thing is that the original Pet Sematary,
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like the movie, but I feel like the acting wasn't that great. I mean, okay, I take that back. Some of the acting is great,
Herman
but
Munster was in that.
yes, he was fine. He was good, but some of the other characters, like the main actor, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Apologies, but if you all know, put it in the comments over. I don't know where it is. Somewhere over
Just type.
there.
Just type.
Yeah, there. Anyway, just type it. Anyway, like I never really was convinced by his acting, and I really feel like, it was while the rest of the just the horror, the absolute terror, the makeup, the creepy things that happen save the movie. But if it had just been a family, if it had been like the Griswolds go to a pet cemetery,
Oh my god, that would be the best.
that would be funny.
Russ, do you know that we buried your dog here?
Spot.
Skippy, something.
Right? See, they kill the dog in the original Vacation, so they just bury it in the pet cemetery, and suddenly it comes back for the grandma. Anyway, the main father character, I just didn't really ever feel like he was alright, but yeah, I just felt like he was alright. Like not amazing, not great, and like the whole sister being sick thing, like it felt to me tacked on, even though it wasn't tacked on. It's actually in the story.
Gage. He
Of course.
Poor kid. Went through so much, and then they just defeated him, and he was like, "No fear, no fear, no fear."
So Tom is asking, can we talk about the film version of The Dark Tower, or can we talk about the film version of The Dark Tower, or would that be a series of podcasts?
Well, Tom,
I'll let Haley answer
let me
this one.
say that movie doesn't exist, so we can't really discuss it in full detail through podcasts. The book series is wonderful, but the movie, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm still mad about that. I wish we recorded my reaction to the trailer because I was just pissed.
Yeah, that would have been one that if we had we been doing a podcast at that particular point, because I don't think we were doing it yet.
No, not yet.
That we should have got her reaction to it, because it was literally like this. It was like watching her going like. Well, I'm not watching that.
That was the PG version. There were a lot of curse words involved.
Yeah,
I was so mad because I love the book series so much, and as soon as I saw that trailer, I was like, it looks like Twilight. It looks like a teeny bopper movie. It looks like a
Yeah. Well, Tom agrees with you, and Cannibal saying they really missed doing a Halloween Vacation movie.
That would have been cool.
I think they should have done that. I think it's a bit late now for that.
Yeah, I don't want them to do it now. But
No.
Clark Griswold,
Right?
over decorating for Halloween.
Oh my gosh, going out and trying to become the greatest haunter. I know a lot of people don't. Okay, so I know this is a very big. What you call it? it's very controversial within the haunting community. But can you imagine Clark Griswold trying to like do some kind of McCaney Manor type thing? You know, it's like, I'm gonna make this the greatest Halloween ever, and he's basically torturing his family.
I don't think he would. See, I feel like Clark wouldn't go that far. He would try to build something, and it would be very cheesy because he's trying to do all the stuff that he remembers as a kid. And then the neighbors next door are doing something crazy, psychotic and stuff, and so then he starts trying to one-up them, and then it just gets out of hand.
Oh, that would be good.
That would be what Clark Griswold would do. He's more about nostalgia first.
That's true. But, you know, Cousin Eddie has to show up some point there.
Clark, have you ever eaten a Nutter Butter? Them things is really good. That's how I meant.
God! Can you imagine? And then somehow some kids accidentally go into Cousin Eddie's house or motorhome.
Cousin Eddie's House of Horrors.
Yeah, and it becomes this like just horribly insane, slightly incestuous, just creepy maze
you know
of.
He's got like 15 kids by this point.
Well, and one of his daughters says that. Her daddy says that he's the best at French kissing.
Oh my God!
Don't you remember that part?
I remember that. I forgot about it.
That was a part. That was a scene.
In Vegas Vacation, he tells the one daughter, show him the move that she learned, and she does this stripper pole dance.
See that? I think the Vacation series would have been ripe for a Halloween installment. But alas, you know what? And Tom can't unsee the Dark Tower, by the way.
I can't believe you attempted. So
yeah, but
poor thing.
Speaking of nostalgia, I have something to talk about. So anyway, before I get to that story, what did we decide? Is it better to make a good movie, or is it better to stick with the source material?
I am going to basically say that that's a hard question to answer, and it depends on the source material.
Agreed.
Because there's certain, like, source material, it's a good jumping off point, but maybe shouldn't be made into a film.
Fair enough.
It really depends, and I'm going to go with Stephen King doesn't know what he's talking about anymore. I love his work, but gosh.
Or would it be better to make it a TV series? You know, because I mean, like certain things like the Dark Tower, I think would make a better TV series than a film.
Dark Tower would make a really good TV series, but I don't think anyone can actually do it just because it's so much. And I'm pretty sure Tom would agree with me. It's just like, it's seriously so much. It would be really good for like an HBO series, though. Yeah,
I could get behind that. Case by Case says Tom. Yeah, Annihilation was pretty different from the novel, but the film and the book were pretty good.
Yeah. I mean,
there you go.
I like Children of the Corn, but I honestly the TV version is 10 times better because it's closer to the source material.
Right.
And it doesn't end on a happy ending. Spoiler alert. So.
There you go. Well, anyway, like I said. I thought that was a fascinating discussion. I was literally thinking about that on the way home because I was like, man,
That's hard. That's really hard.
Yeah, because I was literally walking to my car. I had just said bye to Tom. I was walking to my car and I was thinking about, well, because we work together.
I know.
and I was walking to my car and I said to myself, man, what am I going to talk about tonight, man? I would like to. It's like I really, I can't talk about Pet Sematary again because my God, do I hate that trailer. But then I was like, but maybe it could be good. How? Maybe it's just different from the book because they are trying to do something different with it. And because of that, maybe it might be good. And that's when the whole spark of this conversation came by in. But, that said, nostalgia. I think we all have it. We all like those old things. But, so, classic horror actors. Tony Todd.
Yeah.
PJ Soles from the original Halloween. Tony Todd, of course, being Candyman. And the Candyman is being remade, but we don't know if Tony Todd is in it. But what we do know is that he and PJ Soles are in a movie called Candy Corn. Bam! And there they are. This is a fantastic first look at them being all candy corny.
Oh my God. That's where you went, huh?
I really had nowhere else to go. Let's see if we can get
I
that.
really like
Let's
your
see if we can
first
get
look
this.
pictures there.
Thanks. Yeah, exclusive first looks from Entertainment Weekly. That's what I got 'em. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not going to lie about where I got these, but there we are. Let's bring him. Let's bring him over there. Actually, let me bring up my Word document here so I can figure out exactly what.
That's why I keep stuttering. You got like 18 programs open.
I know, but I can't. I was gonna write this stuff down, but then I was like, you know what? Why? When I can just simply write it in my Word document and just have it ready to go.
Okay.
But then I now see the error of my ways. Next time I'll just write this stuff down. But anyway, Candy Corn. Yes, it's set. Okay, so this is the release that how it goes. So it's is set on the eve of Halloween in Grove Hill, Ohio.
Is that a real place?
Oddly, it sounds familiar, but I don't think it is. I don't think that Grove. I mean, it might be because there's so many weird places like Oak Hill Street I grew up on. Well, actually Easton, but Oak Hill was right next to it. You know, I walked up Oak Hill a lot. You know, and like all sorts of other hill streets and this, that, and the other hills. So Grove Hill sounds like a very standard Midwestern sounding name, and it sounds familiar. Okay. So you know what? That doesn't mean it's real. I just don't know if it's real or not. But anyway, it takes place on Christmas. Oh. See, that's why I'm always like, who cares about Christmas? Let's just make it another Halloween. But no one agrees.
Electric Boogaloo.
No one agrees with me on that one. That's all right. That's all right, because it's my second Christmas. Halloween is my Christmas. Anyway. Traveling Carnival is in town for the weekend, and